Do the powerful live by one set of laws and the rest of us by another? Listen and decide.
Well, waterboarding has been recognized to be torture since the time of the Spanish Inquisition. Do you agree with me that waterboarding is torture?
I agree with you, Mr. Chairman. Waterboarding is torture.
Here Dick Cheney admits to authorizing the international crime of waterboarding.
It isn't often that a news headline has the ability to stop you in your tracks, drop your jaw, leave you speechless. Today we got one of these for real, jaw-dropping headlines. U.S. Vice President admits to war crime. Can you say bombshell? In his latest legacy-polishing exit interview, Vice President Dick Cheney acknowledged for the first time, without trepidation or apparent fear of prosecution, that he authorized torture techniques to be used against prisoners. He was asked and answered specifically about waterboarding. Waterboarding, you may recall from the Tokyo trials after World War II, when an international coalition, including us, convened to prosecute Japanese officials and military personnel accused of war crimes, including waterboarding. A number of those found guilty of waterboarding, American troops and Allied troops and civilians, people found guilty of waterboarding, those folks were sentenced to death and hanged. We hanged people for waterboarding as a war crime in Dick Cheney's lifetime.
Did you authorize the tactics that were used against Khalid Sheikh Mohammed?
I was aware of the program, certainly, and involved in helping get the process cleared. That is, the agency, in effect, came in and wanted to know what they could and couldn't do. And they talked to me as well as others to explain what they wanted to do, and I supported it.
And on KSM, one of those tactics, of course, widely reported was waterboarding, and that seems to be a tactic we no longer use. Even that, you think, was appropriate?
I do.
I had intended to include a clip here where Bush admitted authorizing torture, but Fox Broadcasting had other ideas. I do include a link to that clip, though. In this clip, Obama says no one is above the law, but he'd like to look the other way this time.
The most popular question on your own website is related to this, on change.gov. It comes from Bob Furtick of New York City, and he asks, will you appoint a special prosecutor, ideally Patrick Fitzgerald, to independently investigate the gravest crimes of the Bush administration, including torture and warrantless wiretapping?
We're still evaluating how we are going to approach the whole issue of interrogations, detentions, and so forth. And obviously we're going to be looking at past practices. And I don't believe that anybody is above the law. That doesn't mean that if somebody has blatantly broken the law, that they are above the law. But my orientation is going to be to move forward.
In a true democracy, people all have to follow the same laws. In 2004 and 5, 7 U.S. soldiers were sent to prison for torture. Please write Attorney General Eric Holder and demand that he prosecute all war criminals.